What's up guys, how's it going? I'm back. I'm going to be trying to do more tutorials if I have the time. But yeah, I'm going to be doing this one today as I got a friend who, kind of needed this. So I'm going to be starting by doing this. Um, so what I'm going to be doing today, as you can see in the title, is I'm going to implement basically Steam friends. So you can invite people from your Steam friends list to join your game. So I'm going to be showing you how to put that working, and I'm going to be using the Advanced Sessions plugin. Um, that plugin is going to be providing the code that I'm going to use, but there's some setup that we're going to need to do. We're going to need to create a menu with a list with a friend. So I'm going to show you how to set that up, how to install the plugin, and how to use their events. So basically, I'm going to be guiding you through on how to set that up in your project. So first of all, you're going to need to go into your browser, and you can just type Advanced Sessions plugin into Google. Open up the first page. It's going to open on this forum. Then you just got to go over here into this list. You got to watch what version of Unreal you are using. So choose the one from the list. I already have it, so I'm not going to download it. So you click this, you're going to give you a folder. Then you can see that the installation is right here, so it's very easy. I'm just going to go ahead and create my Unreal project. I'm going to call this friend invite. I'm not going to bother with the start content. I'm going to do, I don't know, it can be on the third person, I guess. So I'm going to create this project. And as you can see over here, the only thing that you got to do is download this and then extract the file inside the project folder. So whatever is your destination that you choose to create the project, you're going to need to paste that inside the plugins folder. So the plugins folder normally doesn't exist in your project, so you just got to create it exactly like this and then paste the advanced sessions that you downloaded into there. And that's just everything you need to do from outside the editor. Okay, so then you're gonna get a message called new plugins are available. If you don't, you can just go over here into settings, plugins, and then you can go into let me see, search. So just go into installed and type in advanced there you go, built-in. These are the ones from the engine. You're probably gonna get another section over here from just make sure you search on every little instance over here until you find both of these. You just gotta tick enable on both of these, and then you gotta click on restart editor, and it's just going to restart everything. Then we're gonna need another code. That's gonna be in an any folder, also in your project editor. On your project editor, I'm sorry, on your project folder, you're gonna need to add some code into the config file so it works. But I'm gonna show that code in a minute. I guess I can show that now. I'm just gonna find it, so I'm gonna pause, get it right back. Okay, so what you gotta do is go again into Google and just search UE4 online subsystem Steam, and you're gonna get the documentation from Unreal. Open that up, and then you're gonna get this list. There's a lot of stuff here that you can read if you want to learn more about how this works, but everything that you're gonna need is gonna be down here on this finished settings. You just gotta go over here and Control C everything that is in here, make sure everything is selected, and then we're gonna go into our project folder. So I'm gonna do this to be quicker. I'm gonna go right click into some blueprint. I'm just gonna show in Explorer, so I go directly into the project folder and just go into the content. I'm sorry, the root of your project. Now, if you have installed Advanced Sessions, you're gonna have a new folder over here called plugins. Then you just drag and drop the stuff that you download. I already have the Advanced Sessions inside the engine itself, so I can use it in every project. But you guys don't need that. You just need to have a folder called plugins with a plugin inside. And then let's go into config, default engine. And now you just gotta go over here into the end and Control V the code that you selected. So save that, and Now you can see if it works by first make sure that you have Steam opened, which I actually don't, so let me open that up. Okay, so now when you have Steam opened and make sure you are online, you can go over here into this little play and you're gonna have to do a standalone game. So the stuff from Steam doesn't work if you are in some of these windows inside the editor itself. You gotta do a standalone game to test stuff related to the actual Steam code. I don't know why that is, but it's just how it works. So you can see over here in the bottom corner that I have my Steam overlay. And I can press my hotkey to see that I'm playing Space War, and I have my friends over here and everything like that. So if you have that, that means that the code that you pasted into your config file is working. So that's the first step, and if it works, it's cool. The next thing that we're going to need to do now, well, first we're going to have to create, I'm going to quickly create the main menu. So I'm not going to make any folders. You can just put this into anything that you want. I'm going to create widget blueprint underscore main menu, and this is going to be pretty simple. It's just going to be a button, because we're going to need to have a button so we can host the game. So I'm just going to drag a button in here, some text, say it, call it host. There you go. I'm also going to need to create a new level, which I'm going to create, which I'm going to call level underscore main menu. Okay, so, and we're gonna need some blueprint classes, because we're gonna have to be calling some functions, which we're gonna need to go into our game instance. So just creating a new blueprint, and now expand all classes and just type in instance. And you're gonna see over here in the game instance, we're gonna have the advanced friends game instance. This is apparent from the instance of the advanced sessions plugin. So just select this one, make sure you have selected it, because you're going to need the code that's in there. Click select. I'm just going to call this my game instance. And you can put my game instance active, going to your project settings, and going to maps and modes, and just over here on the game instance, select my game instance. Then open that up. Now I'm just going to take care of the code over here. It's pretty simple. First of all, I'm going to be creating a new custom event called host, and because this is inside the game instance, only the server is going to call this, so you don't actually need to replicate this event, so it's fine. And I'm just going to do create advanced session, and this is what you need. So the player controller, I'm going to drag to create an input. This is the maximum number of players that you want to have inside your server. I'm going to leave them all to 100. Make sure allow invites is activated, because you're going to need that. You can leave everything at default. It's going to be fine. And I'm just going to print a new string over here calling host sussex. There you go. So I have an idea that I actually hosted the game correctly. And then we're going to actually call an event, and it's going to be over here on session invite received and event on session invite accepted. And this is the main nodes that we're going to need to work with right now. So from the invite received, I believe, well, I don't think we actually need this node. We just need the one that it is accepted, because this one is if you want to actually do something in game about a received invite, but you actually can go into the overlay and accept the invite from there. So I'm just going to use that because it's what most games do, so it's fine. So you're gonna have on invite accepted session to join, drag from that and type in join session, and it's pretty simple like that. And the player controller, I believe, can we get I don't know how we get this, I don't remember. Just give me a minute, I'll get back in a minute. Okay, so I was checking with another project that I was working on, and you actually don't need to plug this into anywhere over here. You just need to simply get the player controller, because remember, this is called locally, so getting the first index of the player controller is going to return the yourself, so the correct player that you want to join the session with. So that's fine, and we do not need this indeed. So we just need these to function over in the game instance. So now we gotta work something out first. So we're gonna have to go into Blueprint class again and get a player controller. And it's just going to be PC underscore main menu. This is going to be where we're going to be talking between the widget and the game instance. So let's go into the event graph of the player controller. Let's just call create two custom events. You can just copy and paste them. I'm just going to call this client underscore host game, and it's going to be replicated on the owning client, because we're going to be calling this from a widget which only exists on the client, so you got to do it on the owning client. And this one is going to be the server underscore host game, and because we need to be the server to be talking with the game instance, we need to replicate this one on the server. So just make sure you call server host game over here, and over here we're just going to get the game instance, and we're going to cast into my game instance, then we simply call host. And the player controller, because we are inside our player controller, drag from it and get the reference to self. That's exactly fine. And that's everything for the host game. Just another thing before I forget, we need to create the widget, so that's very easy. Go into the event begin play, create widget, main menu, get a reference to self, and then add to viewport. I'm not going to be worrying about showing the mouse cursor and setting the window focus and stuff. I'm only really worried about the actual connection code. So the rest of the stuff I'll leave for you guys. Okay, so we're gonna need another one for. Actually, I don't think we need anything else over here. Let me check again. Okay, so we do not need to create any more code over here, because the logic to invite friends is going to be inside another widget that we're going to have to create. First of all, let's go into the main menu, world settings. If you don't have this opened, you can go into settings or window, I'm sorry, over here on the top, and click on world settings, and then this will appear, because you're going to need to override the game mode. I'm going to go into third person game mode, and I'm going to change the player controller class to PC main menu that we just created. So now if I play, you can see that you have the button to host. Now you can try to host and nothing will actually happen. And I just remembered that I forgot something over here. Before you actually print a string, we need to open the level of the game. So let's find that. It's going to be, I'm going to use the third person example map. So just get the name of your map that you want to open. Make sure there's no spaces in here and paste this, and then you need to do a question mark and then listen. And what this is going to do is basically going to make is going to host this map as a listen server so other clients can connect. So you need this listen part of the command to actually make this work. Okay, let me see what do I need. Okay, so yeah, we can actually try and test this just to see if it works. Make sure we don't have any mistakes done. So just create a standalone to actually, because you need that to those to actually work. So we have the little button over here. We have the Steam overlay. Now I'm going to click on host. I'm going to click on host and nothing will happen. Why? Oh yeah, okay. Never mind. I completely forgot, you gotta go actually into the widget to connect the code. So click on the button over here in the widget, drag over here down, and on click, we're gonna want to actually call the code. That's what I was forgetting. So get the owning player over here, and cast to our player controller, so PC main menu, and actually call client host game. There you go. And now it will work. There you go, play. And if I click on host, let me just get this. There you go. And there you go. So never mind the widget. That's because I need to remove the widgets after I connect in. But you can see that you have connected inside successfully and the level has opened. And you can still check the overlay and everything. So okay, so let's actually continue the code. So now we're gonna have to do the other part. So let's go back into the content, and I'm going to create a new widget called widget blueprint underscore friends list. And there you go. So first of all, yeah, let's take care of the designer. We're gonna need a scroll box to a scroll box, or you can use any other box, a vertical box or whatever. But I'm going to use a vertical box, and I'm actually going to make the list of the players over here. I'm not going to make anything fancy. And let's make the scroll box a variable because we're going to need to access it later. And let's create another widget blueprint. Oh, excuse me. Another widget blueprint. And this is going to be the friends info. And this friends info is it's what's going to populate the list. So you need that as well. And this, we can make this just a text for now. Just a text over here. Let's actually remove the canvas. Just make this a text, and just make this a variable. Actually, we don't need that. Let's just go into the graph, create a variable, and let me just quickly check the type of the variable. Okay, so it's going to be of the type friends info. So it's the first one over here. We need to instance editable and expose auto spawn. So when we create this widget, we want to pass in this information. We can just call this player info. And let's go into the designer again. Let's go into our text. Actually, we're going to need to wrap this with an horizontal box. And the reason for that is because we're actually going to need to add a button. So we can click on it to invite the player. Let's do this like this. Let's put in some text. Let's call it invite. Yeah, this is going to be very ugly, but you know, it's just to show the logic. Now I'm going to go into this text, and I'm going to go into over here into the content. I'm going to bind this, and I'm going to go into the player info, and I guess I gotta break this, and then get the display name into over there, and this is going to be the name of the user as it shows on the friends invite list. You got a whole lot of info that we don't need to worry about right now to make this work. So like that, it's gonna be working. And then on this button, on click, let's just take care of that logic. Let's get the player info. And now I guess it's gotta be so. Actually, don't remember. Let me just check the logic because okay, I got it. It's just drag from it. Actually, don't drag from it. Just type in send session invite to friend. Just connect this up, and then you just gotta break this information, and you're gonna need this information unique net ID, and the player controller is going to be getting the owning player. And that's it. So you don't need anything on success because it will automatically connect the player once he accepts it. We can just make a print string and call it invite sent over here on the success, so you actually know it worked. And now for the logic, let's go back into the friends list, because now we need to work on the logic to populate that scroll box. So let's get the scroll box, leave it over here. And what you gotta need to do is, first of all, get store the friends list, Oh, okay. It's we need get friends first. Is it this one? No. There you go. Get and store friends list. That's what we need. The player controller again is getting the owning player. Then we just gotta do for each loop on success, dragging from the array. And if you don't know how I did this, it's just Alt F and click to create a new for each loop. And then on the loop body, let's create a widget. And now for each player on our friends list, we are going to populate our scroll box. So the class is going to be our friends info. The owning player, you can just connect that into the owning player. And the player info is just this array element from the loop. And now let's grab our scroll box from up here and let's add child, and you just add the return value into that. So now for each friend it's going to create that little friends info over here, and it's going to add it into the scroll box. And that's everything we need over here. Now we're just going to need one more thing. We need to go into our actual third person character, and we need to set up a bind of a key to actually open up the friends list. So let's I'm just going to do it, I don't know, not F1, but I don't know, P keyboard, whatever. I'm going to use the P key to open up that, and I can do a flip-flop. I'm going to create the widget. It's going to be our friends list, and I'm going to add viewport. And now I'm going to, let me just store this return, oh, not this. Right click, promote to variable, call the widget blueprint underscore friends list. There you go. And then let's just get it and remove from the parent. So now we can toggle the friends list. I'm actually also going to get the player controller, and because this is inside our client from a key, the player index is going to be ourselves, so we can actually set the show mouse cursor to true, so we can just see what we're clicking, and then we can just toggle that back off. Once we toggle this back, and I just double click the node, never mind, it's going to open up Visual Studio. But I think that's everything we need. Another thing, I'm going to Alt P and click to get an event begin play, and then I'm just going to remove all widgets. So that widget from the menu disappears. Okay, so ignore Visual Studio. There you go. It's going to break my PC, so I need to close it. There you go. So let's just test this out, see how it works. So okay. Oh, I know what happened. Just make sure you go into our main menu, and over here from the default pawn class, place none, because we are running that remove all widgets, and it's removing the menu that we are creating on the player controller. So you can forget that. You don't actually want a character in your menus, so there you go. So now you have this. Click on host. What the hell? Okay. That should have disappeared. Okay, I'm gonna click on P. There you go. You can see that it doesn't have spaces or everything, but all of my friends are over here. But now even the ones that are offline are over here, so you gotta be careful for that. Let me just show you something really quick. If you go into your friends list, you can actually check. So if you break the info, you can see the online state and do a switch through the online state and only place the ones over here that are online. So only a couple of them will be actually there. Let me go into our main menu. Just once I click the button, I'm going to remove all widgets. Okay. On the main menu, so just so that doesn't appear back in our actual character, so you can delete that one from the third person character. And with this check over here, it's just going to create widgets for the online players. So I don't actually know if I have anyone online. I think so. So let me go over here, host. What the hell? Oh, okay, I know what's happening. Because the PC main menu is running again, because I'm using the same game mode. So if you have different game modes to the actual gameplay and the menu, this won't happen. So I'm sorry about that. But if I go to P, now I only have the ones that are online. So I can actually go over here and invite this guy. And you can say invite sent. So it was actually successful. And I can actually wait. I don't know if my friend is going to respond or not. You can't join because it doesn't have the build of the game. And now this is the problem. When you do this, the only way of testing this is actually you actually need to compile the game. So go into File, Package, Project, Windows 64, and just test this out, the build of the actual game, into a separate machine or ask a friend. And you need two different Steam accounts, because if you use the same Steam account, it's not going to work. So yeah, sorry for the me rushing through the tutorial and not actually showing how to do like the actual widgets pretty and stuff, but I just got to say to you guys, I don't have a lot of time to make videos. I'm going to be trying to make some. Yeah, hopefully you guys can learn from this, but I hope you guys forgive me for the videos not being perfect. When I have the time to actually sit down and make things correctly, I will, but I'm just showing you information. You can learn this and, perfect this on your own. I think so. It's just, make things prettier and like make more checks, do whatever you want over here if you want to create different menus for each type of friend, stuff like that. Um, so yeah, that's gonna be it. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye bye.